today, um, you discovered the meaning of life. Excellent. Um, okay. So, today I was going to do free response with calculator for you guys to practice. We will have one that counts as a grade tomorrow. What is it on? Anything. Do you need a calculator? Yes. So, so today is like a warning shot of what these things look like, what is work that you need to show on a calculator test, and stuff. So I have one of those ready for you that I will take out, and I'd like you to try it. The answer is on the back. Please don't check the back without giving it your best shot. Where are they?
How do you know T-Word's a lucky? Yeah. How do you know T-Word's a lucky? How do you know?
So you all have a graphing calculator that does calculus stuff.
He's one of my good friends in middle school.
Oh.
And he's my neighbor.
You know the trick of saving the battery.
Oh, you live on that street.
Not our world. I lived in the neighborhood. Because I was like my friend in sixth grade.
Genius. Okay.
I'm going to college. I'm a big T-Word fan. Just throwing that out there.
There are a lot of people that are like not big T. Yeah, are you not a big T-Word fan?
No, I'm not saying that I'm not. I just think it's funny that you're a fan.
You think it's funny that I'm a fan of T-Word?
Who, if you're not a T-Word fan, then like
What's happening?
T-Word grows on you.
Changes my entire world.
T-Word was a musical.
Oh, yes.
What?
T-Word's apparently a theater kid.
All right, children.
It's true.
That's insane.
I feel like Miles gave me this revelation last year.
Hopefully I stay a T-Word fan in college.
What?
Hopefully I stay a T-Word fan in college.
Okay, so the banana problem. There we go. It does. I remember the year this came out and kids were like, I don't really care about the bananas. I hate bananas. I don't even like banana bread. They were just delirious about the stupid bananas.
I would be too.
So, all right. And you can tell it's a calculator problem because the equations look scary, right? Okay. So just reading this is bananas going away. And this is restocking. So bananas are being added. And when the store opens, they're not going to have somebody like waiting, oh, Francesca took a banana, I'm going to replace them. Like, they're not going to be jumping on it like that. Restocking starts at hour 3. So how many pounds of bananas are removed from this display in the first 2 hours? What do I set up? Asher, what do you have?
I did the integral of f of t from 2 to 0. Yeah, you just plug it.
2 to 0?
Or 0 on the bottom, 2 on the top.
Okay.
Just plug that into your calculator.
Plug that into your calculator, exactly. And did you guys get the answer that is on the back? Like, did anyone not? Okay, well let's try and type this in.
I just put it into y equals number of the bars.
Okay. Great if you remember how to do that. I don't remember how to do that. So how do I integrate? Carson, what's the buttons on the calculator that I push to get integrate? Math? Oh, 9. And then I gotta type this in carefully.
Ooh.
10, hey, you mock, plus 0.8 x sine x to the third divided by 100. Make sure to close the parentheses because that was all in the angle, comma integrate with respect to x from, it's not that, from 0 to 2. And what mode do I need to be in? I'm in degrees, so I need to fix that. Enter and then second quit. Now if I hit enter, I typed something in wrong, so let's go to, too many parentheses, that was supposed to be a comma. Second insert, comma. So the answer is what? Is it 20 pounds?
No, it's 20.05 bananas. Oh, wait, which one are we on?
A.
Yeah, there we go. Have been removed. They're in free.
Okay. Pounds of bananas. How many pounds of bananas are removed from the display table in the first 2 hours the store is open? So about 20.051 pounds of bananas are removed from the tables in those first 2 hours. It didn't exactly say keep units. Using correct units, oh my. How do I do f prime of 7? Carmen, what do I do? Math derivative, which is number 8. All of that again. Dang, I should have typed it in like Asher did. All right, 10. You know what?
What'd you just do?
I hit second entry, the second button, and the enter, and it brings up the last thing I typed in. And now I'm just gonna obliterate that. Well, insert math 8. That's derivative. So do the derivative with respect to x, then evaluated at where? Where do I want the rate of change at? 7. And I get negative 8.119 or negative 8.120. They will accept both. Here's the catch. Lanham, what are the units in context of the problem?
It means the rate at which they're being taken out is decreasing.
Okay, I need rate of what?
The rate that the bananas are being removed from the display is decreasing at a rate of 8.12.
So pounds of bananas is decreasing. Something's not quite right.
It's the rate of the pounds.
Couldn't you just say like at
Pounds
that
per
point,
hour is
Okay.
decreasing at
and
a
then
rate
at 7
of
hours, that's how many they took it out.
blank pounds per hour. So it's
It's
like
like
per
the
hour
rate-
squared.
The rate of the decrease of,
Yeah, the rate of the.
it's acceleration, whatever the
Okay.
that is.
Acceleration.
Acceleration of bananas on the display case.
Yeah.
Yes, it is acceleration of bananas.
Per hour.
Let's
That's
see.
what it said.
It is acceleration of bananas. So it's the pounds of
There's
bananas
no way anyone gets
per hour, every hour at times 7.
No one
like-
got that round.
If I said the rate of change that bananas are removed from the shelf, the rate of change of banana removal.
Yes, it's the
That's
change
correct,
in how
right?
many.
The
Pounds
change
of
and removal
banana.
and removal of change.
It's just the change in how many pounds are removed.
If I put that, is that right?
It is
of
banana
bananas
acceleration.
per hour. It's like how many bananas per hour is removed per hour.
Okay,
I have
okay.
A funny joke. But
So,
it's not actually that
like,
funny.
really, like, this is not enough either. But to get these right, F is pounds per hour. we did the change again with respect to what? We asked at change in time. So the units are pounds per hour squared. So if you just look at it like in terms of analytically, F was pounds per hour. I did the derivative again, pounds per hour every hour. And they want a noun, what? Pounds of bananas. Units, pounds per hour. And time, at time 7. So specifically, they want to see the words that the rate of bananas leaving the shelves is changing at 8.120 pounds per hour every hour on the 7th hour. That at t equals 7, you could be even awesomer and say after the store had been open for 7 hours.
What if you said banana acceleration on the test? Would
They would not take that. I understand what it means. We have done acceleration of bears. But no, that's not good enough. And yeah, I kind of don't expect that point of the problem to come across.
Wait, would you just get the full point, the meeting point off for that if you didn't say per hour per hour?
If you don't say per hour, like, you need to say pounds per hour squared or pounds per hour every hour.
There's no way.
Right, so that's okay. So looking at the grading of it, that's the thing on the back. So you would, most of you, I believe, would have gotten part A, I hope. But you do need to do what Asher said and set up the integral. Like, you need this on the calculator test. And then just the numerical answer that gets spit out from the calculator, you don't need to write. Like, if you can integrate it by hand, don't. Just type it in. Do this and get the number. And it didn't ask for units, but it would be great if you left them on there, because sometimes they do that. That would have been 2 points, is setting up the integral and writing the answer. Part B, you would have probably, most of you probably would have gotten 1 point for getting this number right. If you wrote negative 8.12, you don't get the point. You need to keep 3 decimals. And then if you got the units right, that would be another point. And that one's harder to get. So far I think, hopefully, most of you got 3 of the 4 points available so far. Part C is the number of pounds on the display table increasing or decreasing at time 5. Well,
Why didn't you? I didn't derivative for that. That's wrong.
okay.
Could you just find out which function is bigger? F of t or g of t?
Number of pounds on display, is it increasing or decreasing?
But you're not able to plug in 5. Are you?
What is an equation for bananas on the table?
So why can't you plug in 5?
Rate of increase minus rate of decrease. So,
They weren't taking.
Or
The number 5 is in between 3
Um,
and 12?
so did you hear what Carmen said?
No, I was thinking that. Oh, never mind.
So the reason I said in the beginning, like, this function was for the bananas leaving. This is for bananas coming back. Yay, bananas. And Carmen said an equation for just the rate of bananas. This is a rate already, so that's why we didn't do the derivative. This was how many are changing per hour. Same with this. And at time 5, d of 5 minus f of 5. What did that?
The roadblock?
So if you guys knew to check these 2 functions at 5, not their derivatives, but these 2 functions, you didn't even have to get the number right. It says you get a point for considering them. I've considered them. And the specific value is less than 0. You don't have to get the negative value correct, Isaiah. So what does that mean? That the rate was less than 0. What does that mean?
It means that it was increasing. No, decreasing.
So what is it, Isaiah?
One of those.
Yes, yes. It is true or false. Yes, I agree with you. Which one is it and why?
It is one of the answers.
The rate of bananas, Isaiah, was negative 2.2 at time 5. And that means what?
That it was decreasing.
The bananas are slightly decreasing.
The number of bananas on the shelves is still decreasing because that rate of change was negative.
How can the bananas be increasing by a non-whole number?
Okay.
Are the atoms of
Look.
banana like
Look.
material?
We don't need to be discrete mathematics.
This is a discrete variable.
What is the word discrete?
Because it's pounds. It's not
Bananas.
yes.
It's not the
One
number.
really, really light banana.
And if you really want to do discrete math, that is very challenging math.
Wait, what is discrete math, by the way?
Whole numbers. You would think whole numbers would be easy, but it's not.
Well,
Airline scheduling, and if you get caught in the
It has
Southwest,
to be on the minute.
oh,
Ah.
like,
Wait, why is it?
because you can't send, it would be optimal to send 0.57 planes from Chicago to New York every 35 minutes. You can't do
you have less
that.
options that are more.
You need to send the whole plane with a whole crew, and you can't have
are you sure?
fractions
Like
of
Saying the atoms of the plane
I'm
materialize
sure.
on the
Can we
runway
skip the tail part there, maybe?
at time 2.
So I was actually right with the definition of discrete mathematics.
Just
these days.
Okay,
This is nuts.
1.5.
all right. So, Natalie,
Banana on the shelf.
how many
Up here.
pounds of bananas are on the table at time 8? This is a non-trivial question.
That's like.
How do I find total bananas?
So you're gonna do like bananas from. So you're gonna do G of t, like the integral of G of t from I think 3 to 8. It starts at 3, yeah, and then minus the like rate of decreasing from 0 to 8.
And that's a point right there, considering.
This is not right.
Oh. Oh, right,
Yeah.
at the start.
Oh wait, we start with 50 pounds.
Does it matter the order?
Right, 'cause, like, what
Does
if you
not.
put in C later? Like, that is C, right?
We started with 50 pounds on the table.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of bananas.
So,
Where are
guys,
we getting all these bananas?
Yeah,
Mexico.
bananas. Really?
Actually, never considered.
That is where bananas come from.
I never knew that.
Crazy.
okay,
So,
guys,
That is insane.
what did you
What?
get when you typed it in?
How?
How are you doing integration on this?
As
I need
as
to
a
get it. I
senior
need to
in
print it.
high school,
I have one.
and a person who
Like
calls
5 of
them
them.
verbally
Just need to
Okay, well, you need to bring one for tomorrow because that test is going to be hard.
I know, now I actually have like a reason, like, alright, now you have to get it.
All right, guys, hello. So, what number did you guys get? Jacob, what number did you get?
I got,
Yeah, I can look on the back of the paper too. What number did you get?
well, I actually read the problem wrong, so I got a completely different number.
So, okay. Here's the standard problem with this class and this time of year. The weather is nicer, the material's getting harder, and you are getting less interested. And the AP exam is really soon.
Is it? It's like in 2 months.
It's okay. Well,
That's soon.
But we're
Let's
missing
see.
like a week plus.
we have 2.5 weeks till break. Not that I'm counting, but I so totally am. We will.
Cryogenically frozen.
We should finish the curriculum before spring break.
That's actually really exciting.
Can we
Means
just
you don't have to
move on?
learn after that.
How do we
I think we're still gonna have tests there.
How, yeah.
No, we're not. On what? We haven't
Okay.
even learned everything.
In the style of the
Alright.
AP exam.
So,
That
guys,
doesn't matter.
we get back
I'm
on the 11th. And-
Georgetown, but
No, I'm not.
Sorry to interrupt your personal conversation, but shut up.
Are you recording?
I am.
this one's
Okay, so, guys, listen please, Josh. We get back April 11th. Your exam is the second week in May. So 1, 2, 3, 3.5 weeks of, it's not all review. Your fourth quarter grade, guys, is 4 tests in fairly short succession. They need to fit in before that AP exam. Those 4 tests are actual, like it's an internal practice exam. I can't let you leave the room with it, but I'm allowed to use it. It is a real exam. And that real exam, what it is, it will be in the format that you will see. Actually, I might make it 5 so that it's less of a stress.
What? Wait, so then it's less stress?
So you can like spread
Okay.
out the material?
You have a 3-hour exam to take within this class, cut up over a certain amount of time. It is easier to cut some of them into smaller pieces.
But like the same amount of points between the 4 and the 5.
During the actual EP exam, is there school? I forget.
Yep.
So will there be class?
Well, you don't have to show up or not.
Well, I'm not taking the exam. I'm asking for like.
Like if you're not taking the exam, you have to show up to school.
Yeah.
Wait, you said
You do.
AP
So the
curve.
mistake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna
Oh, so 70%.
Okay. Guys, the format.
30% might be there.
The format of these tests. There is one. One of them is a 1-hour multiple choice without calculator. It's 30 questions, and I need you to take that all in one chunk. I cannot split it up because you guys need to know for yourselves how to budget time. And you guys need to know for yourselves, well, and I will give you practices as a homework. Go home, do the multiple choice without calculator, set a timer for 45 minutes because that's the way the test used to be formatted. Take that 45 minutes, and when the bell goes off, stop. Legitimately and honestly stop. And then grade your multiple choice, honestly. And then realize, okay, I got 6 or 7 right out of the first 10. I got 4 right out of 11 to 20. And I didn't even get to question 25. Like, so you need to know that the ones that take less time and that are easier are in the beginning. The ones towards the end might not be hard, but they might take too much time. So I need you to, whatever day we choose to do this, I need you guys to help figure out a time that you are all okay with staying another 12 minutes in class, and those of you that have extended time, another 42 minutes in class, to take this test in 1 hour chunk. It is 30 multiple choice questions, no calculator. Then there is a 30-minute multiple choice with calculator. And that doesn't mean you can use the calculator to answer all the questions. It's actually better if you don't. It's only 15 questions. And then the other batches of tests, I will probably break it into, there's 6 free response questions. And each free response, which is like one of the ones we just did, I will probably do them 2 at a time. The first 2 you get a calculator for, and 30 minutes. The second 2 you don't get a calculator for, and you have 30 minutes. And the last 2 you don't get a calculator, and you have 30 minutes.
It's a long quiz.
During these tests, can you put the timer on the Promethean board?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can put the timer right in front of you.
When we do these things as reviews, it can be graded for
So-
accuracy.
These things are real tests in this class, and it is the grade that you will get for fourth quarter. As Asher noticed, I did mention this before, and he said, what is the special kicker thing about it?
Curve.
On what kind of curve?
AP.
So
On the AP
70%.
curve. So, don't,
Wait, does that mean people who do bad on tests are just totally screwed? Like
No,
if you get like a
they have a
1 on the
chance.
AP exam, like say you get a 1 on the AP
No,
exam,
that's probably better.
What
for you
grade
because
is
you can
that?
more.
That's like a negative.
in grade book.
that's
It's a
failure.
0.
If it's a 1 on the exam, then it's.
That's like a
It's a
10.
0.
You should
But
not get a
If it's
1 on the
1
exam.
after it's been
But
curved.
isn't it like totally based on like the percentage of like what people get what like?
If you get nothing right on the exam, you do deserve a failing grade in the class. I'm not really sure what your question is asking. If you earned a 1 on this, even with the AP curve, you should fail this class. Like, I don't understand your question.
So how does
It is not that you're bad at taking tests.
actually work?
Like, if you might have test stress, but if you get a 1, you have not demonstrated knowledge.
Isn't
Period.
it like it takes the beta and the test
The
out?
score comes after the
No,
curve.
how does the curve work?
Okay,
Yeah, how does it?
so it's a generous curve, and Eric, if you can't hit the mark of passing, we have a bigger problem. So, anyway, we can argue about it later. Yeah,
So the effort is more, is it gonna be like?
the FRQ is a real one that counts in your grade, and it's one of the ones that, yeah.
Is it like, gonna be like with these, the format similar to this?
So it will be one that you need a calculator for. So that's why we just did that practice and showed you like, you had to do that setup that Asher said, and then you had to get the right number of decimals.
Other practices on Canvas, or can we just go to the?
You can go to like Google, yeah, AP exams, free response questions 1 and 2 are all calculator.
I feel like YouTube would
Are
probably.
they all practice for each unit on AP Classroom gonna be open?
I can open them. They are not, yeah, I can open them. They're not what everybody wants to do though.
Can you explain how the AP curve actually works? Like,
The AP curve, don't really want to know, but there are 45 points across the multiple choice, and they multiply that by 5/4 to make it be the same number of points as the free response questions. So they scale this to be 54 points, and they add the 2 up, and out of that 108, if you get a 63 out of 108, that's the lowest 5 that you can get.
wow, that's still very little.
It's very little. So let's see, as a decimal, what is that?
I mean, that's
It's like 40 to 54 or something.
I don't even know if that's exceeds.
Wow.
58%.
So everyone should be getting an A.
I had a dream last night that I got a 58.
Well, that's not what she said.
Calm down.
Everyone should
pass.
Guys,
It.
all right, so how have the free response questions gone so far? We've done, I think, 5.
Well,
We did a practice, we did 2 real ones, this one, okay, so maybe only 4.
one of that.
So the free response questions, like, the more practiced you are with them, the more carefully you read, the more you label things and keep your words neat, the better you will do, because it's easy to lose that 1 point because you didn't keep 3 decimals, you kept 2. Don't lose the easy points. The saying that, describing the units, okay, that was, yeah. Pounds per hour, every hour, acceleration of bananas, who the hell cares? So that point that ship sails, but the other one's fighting chance.
You have more than 3 decimals, that also wrong.
It depends. Generally, if you add extra decimals, they better be right. But they, as a grader, we were told if they're correct, ignore them.
You're basically done.
Like, that's fine. It's okay to have more, but it's not okay to have less.
So at least
You should have at least 3.
Spring racing
Other
in
Asher,
like
yes.
2 weeks.
Sorry, what on the actual exam, which are the FRQs?
And then
that
that's
are
just
populated?
Okay, Eric. The FRQs, the first 2, questions 1 and 2 are with calculator, and then they tell you after 30 minutes, in the real exam, after 30 minutes, you must put your calculator away. Now you can open the other 4, and you can go back to the calculator questions and set things up. Like if something was like, oh yeah, I remember how to whatever now, but you can't get the calculator out to type things in again. Yes, Liv?
On the FRQ, I know in different exams, they've had situations where it's been like, they've slightly changed the requirements to actually get the point. Well, has that happened in math exams, or is that kind of just a social studies exam thing?
Okay. Ours, each free response question is 9 points. It's not like 5 or 4 points on the social studies. And every year, like, grading them, 937 of the same question. I'm pretty well versed on a couple of these damn questions. And when I grade them, they tell me, like, you need to have it in terms of pi, or you need to round things this way or that way. And They needed to say the word because it's differentiable. I know it's continuous. You can't say it's differentiable and continuous. But they didn't tell you that. You needed to say because it's differentiable, it's continuous. If you don't do that, they dock you a point. It's very, very specific, the grading and what counts as a point, what doesn't count as a point. And things that are fuzzy, I then go and ask the person, is this good enough? And then we argue about it for a while, and then every now and then it gets kicked up to someone else. One person was like, let me check my calculus textbook. According to the Larson, it says this, and according to... I'm like, okay, do they get the point or not? I'm kind of like rooting for the kid here. Yeah. So.
You, when in doubt, give the kid a point kind of person.
No, well.
But what was that situation?
So.
Is it that AP is too specific?
There's some math snootiness that the AP has that I don't agree with. And then they're lax in places that I have math snootiness. So I guess we're even. So anyway, but these free responses, usually I have 3 questions and 3 questions. I will probably break this into 2, 2, and 2. So that's what I mean by maybe it's 5 tests, not 4, but it's still the same questions. So this is what we're going to do in the weeks after spring break. And those things will be your grades for 4th quarter. And yes, they will be on the AP curve. Does that make it easy? No. Because not that many people get 5s. Yeah.
So we have to fail that test and fail 4th quarter.
If you can't
I'm
pass
counting the days. We have
on
like
the
50.
AP curve, you don't deserve a passing grade. Yeah.
But I feel like now looking at it, it sounds hard to get a 1.